Hi everyone, I'm Savannah with Global Admissions, and today I'm going to be introducing eligibility and document requirements to study abroad. Now, this isn't necessarily going to be specific to any one country, it will be quite general, but a lot of countries actually have very similar age and document requirements. So this is helpful information for you that you can start preparing ahead of time if you know you want to study abroad. So first, let's talk about the age requirements to study abroad. In general, you need to be at least 18 years old in order to enroll in a bachelor's, and of course at least 18 to do a master's or a PhD. Some countries such as the US, UK, and Germany allow you to start studying a bachelor's as young as 17 years old, but in most cases you can't go any younger than that. For master's and PhD age requirements, most countries have no age requirements or age limits. You can do a master's right after your bachelor's, or you can wait and work a few years and then go back to school. However, China does have stricter age limits. A master's degree requires you to be aged 18 to 35, and a PhD requires you to be ages 18 to 40 in China. In general, as long as you meet the basic requirements of the program, you'll be able to study abroad in most countries regardless of your age. However, if you're older than 40 or 45, it may be more difficult for you, especially at the bachelor's or master's level. In terms of the degree requirements, all countries require you to have a high school or secondary school education and a graduation certificate or a diploma for that education. In the US, you may be able to take the GRE exam instead of a high school diploma, but it's better if you've finished high school. That gives you many more options in terms of where you can study. For a master's degree, you're always required to have a bachelor's degree beforehand in almost every country. And for a PhD, most countries require you to also have a bachelor's and a master's before you do your PhD. The one exception is the United States, where you are not required to have a master's degree before doing your PhD. So in general, if you want to study abroad to a high level of education, you need to go bachelor's, master's, PhD in order. All right, now in terms of the application documents, of course, every country has their own specific requirements, but there are actually about 10 documents that you need to prepare regardless of where you're going to study abroad. So even if you haven't totally decided on a country yet, you can start getting these documents in order ahead of time, and that will make the entire process much easier. In general, you need to have a passport. So if you don't have a passport, or if your passport's going to expire soon, you're going to need to apply for a new one before you begin the application process. You're required to have your transcripts, or the record of your scores and grades from all of your previous degrees. So if you're applying to a bachelor's program, you'll need to present a record of all your grades from your high school or secondary school, or maybe even earlier. You should also have your diplomas or graduation certificates from previous degrees. You'll likely be asked to submit a personal statement essay, which could be anywhere from 300 to 1,000 words, depending on what you'll study. You should fill out the application form for the university. You might need a language proficiency certification. If you're going to study in English, you'll probably need the TOEFL or the IELTS exam, but you might need certification of proficiency in another language, such as Spanish or German. So depending on where you want to study, you should check out if you need such an exam. You'll also need a resume or a CV, your national test scores, such as A-levels, SAT exam, IB diploma, etc., letters of recommendation, most likely from your teachers or professors, and you may even need to take an entrance exam for your university, depending on your subject. The exam may be about English, math, advanced sciences, or another language, such as Chinese, German, etc. Depending on what country you apply to, you may also need the following documentation, which can be a bit harder to get and take a lot more time. Some of these documents may take you a few months to get, so it's really important to start preparing ahead of time if you want to study abroad. Some of the other documents you may need include a bank statement with a minimum amount of money in it, an invitation letter from the university, a non-criminal record, any additional essays required by the university, vaccination certification or health check, additional passport photos, employer references, or certificates of your awards and accomplishments outside of school. So if you haven't gotten vaccinated yet, it's a really necessary step to get vaccinated if you want to study abroad, especially for visas and flight tickets. A lot of them may require you to have a vaccine certification. It's a very good idea to start the process as early as possible. Even though these documents are pretty standard and are generally required by every university in the world, no matter where you want to study abroad, they can take a long time to get. Once you start applying through our website on global admissions, it takes students an average of 10 days to complete the application. But of course, it will go much faster if you have all the documents prepared beforehand. And actually, not having the proper documents prepared is a top reason why students end up missing the application deadline for their study abroad university. So if you want to study abroad, visit Global Admissions and check out universities all around the world, from the US to Europe to South America to Central Asia. You can explore which options are best for you and check out all the document requirements. So I hope this video helped you understand a bit more about eligibility for studying abroad. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this one. See you next time.